Thank you, Lord Mayor. And I was struck when the Chief Executive was given her report and reminded of a particular situation when she was describing how this policy has been pursued very vigorously by officials here. When it came in, I was personally invested in it. People will remember at the time there was controversy, particularly within the Green Party, about lifting the eviction ban as it was then, and this scheme was brought in to contradict what Councillor Fitzgerald was saying, not temporarily. It was brought in response as a way of reaching agreement to lift the eviction ban. And I spoke then, at that time, on the phone with the then Director of Housing, Niall Donovan, and I was inquiring about how he would pursue this new policy. And he promised me then that he would pursue it vigorously. And that is exactly what he did. And the Chief Executive is right to say that that's how it was done. And it was done the same way by his successor, Director O'Rourke. And what I feel it seems to be happening, particularly hearing Councillor Cahill's description, it seems that we are being punished for our success. It seems that we pursued this policy that was brought in by the previous government. We were pursuing it to its fullness, and we were using it for the greatest benefit that we could do for the people of Cork. And it seems that, and perhaps Councillor Cahill is right in his speculation, that in the period of establishing this government, while the Greens were out, while the current government were distracted in other ways, that somebody in a department decided that they wanted rid of this scheme. And it is, as has somebody been mentioned before, it's not being abolished, it's being defunded, which is possibly the most cowardly way of removing a scheme, to simply take away the ability to deliver the scheme without having the courage to say you're going to do that. And it is as other people have mentioned here, the words appalling has been used, the phrase moral failure has been used. There has been an allusion to the consequences of homelessness and the right to housing. And the people who have contacted me who are being affected by this, people who believed that they were on their way to having a home that would be certain, people who believed that they were engaging with the state and that there was an opportunity here now to have a firm future for them and their families. Those hopes and those convictions are dashed. And it is dashed by this appalling moral failure to acknowledge that right, that basic right to housing and that dignity that comes with it. Lord Mayor, I very much support the amendment being brought in by my colleague here, because the two motions the two concepts are inextricably linked. This was a policy that was brought in to lift the eviction ban. If it is now being defunded, we need to bring back in the eviction ban, because without it, we're just back to the same way. We know that evictions are rising, 47% as has been mentioned in the city. That's only going to get worse. And without this safety net being there, those people will have no place to go. We've already heard the statistic that 37% of directions away from homelessness were served through the scheme. Does that mean we're now going to have 37% more homelessness next year? If this scheme is being defunded? The underlying reasons for having this scheme there are still there, and they're getting worse. The housing crisis is still there, and it's getting worse. The way to address that is by stepping up, not stepping away, and defunding, cowardly defunding the scheme is stepping away, and it's stepping away from the most vulnerable, people who are facing eviction and homelessness, people who are trying to get out of homelessness, people with disabilities. It is despicable. Thank you, Lord Mayor.